Pete a Kate for 1,000 metres. 2 hours gone for data collection on the Glyder Fawr summit, and on the way up I was telling you about the organisers for the 1,000 metres peak race that's been held in June every year, and over a cup of tea on the summit, sheltering in the rocks from the wind, we've got Kate and Pete Williams from the organisers, and you are the organisers, are you?
Well, we're part of the organising committee. Yes, so it's all volunteers, so there's a number of people who have got responsibilities for different things, but I'm part of the organising committee, and I'm particularly involved in sponsorship, raising sponsorship money for the race.
over 20 miles, 22 miles.
That's
so
right, yeah.
It's not a marathon.
It's not a marathon.
But in a way it is.
Yes, I mean it's the other name for the race, the Welsh 1,000 metres peaks race, or the Snowdonia Summits Marathon, but it's not a true marathon distance.
It's not a technically
not a technical
ultra marathon.
Oh, yes, that's right. No, but it feels like it.
But it deserves respect, really.
Absolutely, yes.
So, how many of you are in the committee or in the club? Well, you're a part of the GandJSurveys club.
The GandJSurveys club took over organisation of the race a few years ago. Prior to that, it had been jointly with the army, and then originally it was the army who organised the race. So the GandJSurveys club took over the race. The GandJSurveys club was founded something like 35 years ago, basically from a group of friends who all came up to North Wales to walk, to climb, and base ourselves around the Plas Youth Hostel. And slowly over time that's grown, and we have members from all around the country who just like to meet to do walks and do organised walks in all sorts of areas.
So, am I right in saying that one of the GandJSurveys members was the keeper of the Plas Hostel, wasn't he? Harvey Lloyd?
That's right, yes. Harvey was sort of guardian at the hostel for many a year, and was the centre of all hospitality. But he's still incredibly active in the area, and he's now involved in various things like the little arts centre up at the St Julita in Cafel Curig. So, yeah, Harvey may have moved from the Penny Pass, but he's not moved from Snowdonia. He's still a big influence.
He's the right character.
Harvey's a character.
Yeah, very good character. After a few glasses of wine, he's a very good character. Fair play to him. And also, it's quite ironic, really, that we started off our journey this morning up to the Glyder in Ogwen Cottage. So anyway, the warden of Ogwen Cottage started the race, wasn't it, Ron James?
That's right, yes. I wasn't around at that time, but I do believe he was involved in the origin of the race, yes.
And then the notes I had actually was Dr. Ian Jones took it on, and the first race was it a trial race first? Was it just to see how, like a pilot in a way?
That's exactly right, yes.
And the first race took over in 1971, and it's been going annually since then.
That's right, yeah.
So what's the record of the race?
Oh, now you're asking me. I suggest that if anyone wants to visit www.welsh1000m.org, we have all the records on there, and all the results going back several years. So
what Mervyn, John and Graham are doing today really on the Glyder is something that could be a huge impact to your race in a way, if you're going to divert the runners up here, and also it will do an impact on the record of the race.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's an interesting set of questions, because currently you've got the 4 1,000 metre peaks. If this adds a 5th one in, you've got to think, well, the one immediate response would say, well, include it. But then you've got a 40-year history of doing the other race, and lots of records and people wanting to challenge those records. If you suddenly change it to bring in a 5th peak, that may not be what people want to do. So we've got to think long and hard. If this does turn out to be 1,000 metres, what do people want to do? Those who participate in the race, because they're really important to the future of it.
It's the same, because I organised the Snowdon race, and it's like the footpath up to the summit of Snowdon. It's changed so much over the years. So you're thinking, right, when the record was done back in '85, they went up the rail, back down the rail, but now they go up the footpath. So do you change it? It's very... Okay, some people say you've got to change it, but Oh, it's a very tricky situation, isn't it, really?
It's a very tricky situation, and of course, you've got to be very concerned about safety. That this is the 1,000 metres is not a way-marked race. It's an orienteering race. People have to find their way by map and compass. As we're sat up here today, you can see it's a very rugged area up here with a number of significant cliffs and therefore risks. So we'd have to think very long and hard to say, is it even safe to get people coming up here? And although the race may be at the beginning of June, the weather can be, as you know, in North Wales, beautiful. It can be appalling.
Especially here, because I've done the Perry's Horseshoe and I've been lost for a few minutes here on the Glyder. You wait a bit until the next runner comes, but if the implications of this survey takes it over 1,000 metres, then it's the health and safety issue is going to be huge, and that's the big thing. That's race organisers you've got to think
Absolutely,
about.
yes, that's going to be one of the main areas, and also talking to the national park as well, and finding out if they'll be happy for the race to take this route. And the other thing is to, as Pete was saying, to go back to the competitors, because a lot of people do the race year after year. To say, what do you want from the race? I mean, it is their race, really.
So I haven't run the race 1,000 metres at all, but it comes from the A5 when you come over, and then you go at the bottom really of the Glyder here. Then you don't touch the Glyder at all. It's in boggy marshland.
Which is just gets you over this particular ridge line. And then that goes. The route then goes to the back of the youth hostel, back of Pennypath Youth Hostel, and then on after Snowdon.
So, would you like? I'm putting you on the spot here. Sorry, but keep the old route if it's over 1,000 metres? Would you say doesn't matter? We keep it. Get the people on the easy route here to Pennypath, or do we get that one race in the morning on one day and do another race the following week or whatever?
Well, that's one way of doing it. I would actually personally quite like to see it included if it was 1,000 metres, just because it would make it a more satisfying race. You would have 1,000 metre peaks on the three main ranges in Snowdonia, and it would make it more complete, I think.
What's your opinion, Pete?
Well, I think I'd rather support Kate. It's always been a little odd in a way that you've come from the coast up to the top of the Carned Eye, 2,000 metre peaks, and then in the end you've got this kind of bit of the Gliders just to get past. Having actually a summit up on the Gliders, that sounds really exciting, but you still come back to getting off here back down to the Pennypath safely. There are a number of cliffs and dangerous areas here. You'd have to think very hard. Would we have to put in lots of other controls and waypoints to keep people safe? And that takes away a little bit from the idea that it's an orienteering, find your own way type race. So kind of a lot of things to be considered in that. But yeah, it could be, I mean, in a way it would be very exciting.
I would personally go for include the Glyder really, because it's these days people want an extra challenge. And I'll do that anyway. But anyway, you're the organisers, not me.
So Stephen, you're going to do the race now, are you? Because you want this extra challenge. Having done it a few times, I know what the challenge is of 22 miles and 9,000 metres of ascent in appalling weather. Feet of ascent in appalling weather, when it takes getting on for 9 hours if you're not at peak fitness.
Well, I'm going to ask Mervyn, John, and Graham if it is over 1,000 metres. They can tell you, but not tell me. Then on the race day, I'll keep to the old route. So that's my way anyway. So hopefully we'll get the results later on today.
Yes,
and thanks a lot for joining us here on the summit of Glyder. And hopefully I'll see you on the start line next June. Hopefully.
That would be great.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot. Cheers.
You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.